Welcome back to Sapporo in Japan. A look at the 1972 ski jump for the Olympic Winter Games, and it's a wintry morning here in Sapporo, a vast town of 1.94 million people. Look at the architecture, inspired by European and American influence in the late 19th century. The World Women's Curling Championship is in the Tsukisamu Gymnasium, where we'll be broadcasting live coverage of Session 9. Our featured matchup this morning will be United States against Japan. Japan rolling on 4 consecutive wins after starting on a loss, and United States still to get off the mark this week. My name is Logan Gray, and alongside me, Kenny Edwards. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, Logan. Yeah, interesting matchup this. USA really struggling to get anything going this week. And Japan really firing on all cylinders, going well.
I think that guy's got some wasabi in his mustache. Yeah, Japan only losing to Switzerland so far this week, and they do have a difficult run-in, so this is a crucial game for the host nation. They would love to get the 5 wins before they go and play against Russia this evening. And as you said, Kenny, the United States have had their problems, and they've made some team changes along the way to try and counteract these problems. Rebecca Hamilton has come in at lead from the alternate position. Tara Peterson has moved up to second position. Aileen Surmunen has moved down to throw third stones, but still skips this American side. And Monica Walker will move up from third to fourth position. Vicky Persinger has dropped to the bench, and Scott Baird is the coach. Japanese team, Anna Omiya, throwing lead stones. Second player, Kaho Onodera. Third player, Sayaka Yoshimura. And the skip, Ayumi Ogasawara, the alternate, Rina Ida, and Fujimiki, the coach. So 4 teams locked at the top on 4 wins and 1 loss. Russia being handed their first loss last night by the Canadians. China and Germany on 3 wins already this week, alongside Scotland. And teams below that, below the 500 record, have still got a lot of work to do if they want to really get into contention to be in the playoffs at the end of the week. Elsewhere on the ice here in draw 9, Germany and Norway going head to head. Russia up against Switzerland in a battle of the teams on 4 and 1. And China up against Sweden in what's another very interesting game. So Kenny, we obviously know a little bit more about the Japanese team than the Americans. What do you think? What kind of style can we expect from the Japanese today?
I think the Japanese will be very patient. They've got last stone advantage coming into this game. The USA also will probably not mix it up too much. Their confidence is going to be pretty low. They've pushed a few teams close, but just haven't really applied pressure when they've needed to. Too many missed shots, missing draws to the 8 foot for 2, and nose hitting for single points and rolling out of play. It's just not been a good week for the Americans so far. Whereas Japan, they've really made the crucial shots, draws to the 4 foot to win, nose hits to win, and really applied pressure when they've needed to. They've been three down before and came back.
40. We're back.
So here's Rebecca Hamilton getting the game started for the USA.
Right here, girls. Yeah, back on. 9.
Getting a little bit pacey, but I totally agree, Kenny. The USA team have run a lot of teams close, but maybe just showing a little bit of a lack of experience at this level. And I always think that it's quite easy to run teams close to the end of the game, but the really good teams, that's when they do come through and show their experience and win games. So here's Anna Omiya, the 25-year-old, a banker from Sapporo, as is the rest of the team. And it's been a bit of a dream round robin so far for Japan, hasn't it, Kenny?
Yeah, sure has. After that opening defeat to Switzerland, they've really strung some good results together. Even last night they were 3 down in that game, and they managed to come back and turn that one around. That just shows the confidence of Japan, just throwing up the corner guard, not going to just throw it in the house and run through this first end.
Well, this is both teams' 6th game of the week, so they should have a pretty good idea of the ice conditions. The ice will have run in and be a little bit more predictable, you would think, than it was at the start of the week. Did leave the corner guard a little bit longer than planned. Just wonder if the ice conditions might be a little bit faster this morning when they were last night. It was a little bit warm yesterday afternoon and some frost started to creep in, changing the speed of the ice. But perhaps with it being a bit colder again this morning, we'll see the ice conditions that we've seen for most of the week. Okay, so Tara Peterson, the 23-year-old, was just about to pull the trigger there, and one of the sweepers dropped their brush. So does absolutely the right thing though, and stands up, resets, and gets ready to fire again. Tara played in 4 World Juniors before and was the alternate last year at the World Championships in St. John. And the USA side finished 6th last year. It was a good job of peeling the guard off and exposing that yellow shot stone. This is Kaho Onodera, playing in her first World Championships, also a banker.
Yeah, really played well so far this week. Certainly more renowned for her takeout and run backs than playing the draws.
So just a reminder of the rules of play for the round robin stage. 6 ends minimum must be played, 38 minutes of thinking time each, and one 1-minute takeout for each team.
Oh, slight mistake, but the only saving grace is now they've got a double centre guard.
Take it off.
Bit opportunity now for Japan to swing one right round. One thing certainly that most people have picked up on is the technique of Japan. It's very, very solid. don't make the draw around, which the centre guard wasn't really in play there, and for to crash it, it's quite poor.
Yeah, certainly a bit of a miscalculation there, and gives the American team a chance to sling one around themselves.
Well, I think they're electing to play the double or come off the back of the red, maybe on the centre line.
So here's Aileen Sormunen. Played in 3 World Juniors before, but first time at the World Championship. And hits completely on the wrong side of that stone. Yeah, I think I would like to see a draw there, Kenny.
Yeah, I think so. Like I say, I think that just shows the lack of confidence they've got after suffering so many defeats this week.
So here's Sayaka Yoshimura. A new addition to the team this season, didn't play in the Olympic Winter Games in Sochi when this Japanese team had a terrific showing and finishing 5th. Real surprise package for the week. Looks like a good addition if she can make more draws like that. Nice shot there from Sayaka. Well, the Americans choosing to hit the open stone here. We've seen that some of the top teams there going to try and follow the shot just played by Yoshimura and make the freeze. And
yeah, if you can just draw up against the face of this, you could face losing 3. So, not a great call. And have they left this one short? And not a great call from the USA, but they haven't really been punished.
I think it'll move. Yeah.
So a chance to play the double run back. Japan's draw in there didn't come too close to the guard. But just on the nose, and you could end up sitting 2 red stones with a double centre guard on. So Monica Walker gonna try and fire this one back.
yeah, 28 years old, only been seen at 1 World Juniors, and that was in Eveleth in the United States. But a nice run back there from the United States 4th player. Comes from Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, nicely done there. Does just roll out the rings though, and the guard's now staggered. So another chance for the Japanese to come around. Here's Ayumi Ogasawara, the 36-year-old. Of course, a skip from Sochi in that terrific showing. Very experienced, having played in the 3 Olympic Games. And this is our 3rd World Women's Curling Championship as well.
Yeah, it does make the draw around, but it's just slipped a couple of feet too far.
Same for me. I think we'll just do it. Yep.
Yeah, Ayumi was actually Team Japan's flag bearer at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games. So,
Yeah,
bit of a national hero.
Yeah, that kind of just shows how popular curling's becoming in Japan and China and the Asia sort of region.
75? Yeah. A little less than we started
Some great crowds in here to watch the games following the host nation. So Monica Walker trying to just corner freeze this, but Swoopers jumped on it early. And that's going to be wide open.
Yeah, of course, if you do hit the stone with the brushes at the start, then it does generally make it run a little bit straighter than you would if you let the stone curl first and then sweep it. So a bit of a misjudgment there. And Japan not taking a lot of ice here. It looks like they're playing a takeout. They could just play a draw down, same shot again, and they've got a little bit of back in there.
Yeah, we've seen Japan play a lot of weight at these type of shots. And you've got to be so accurate if you're going to play the up weight. And have they got past the high red? And they haven't. So it's only going to be a single shot. And a big let-up for the USA, really.
Well, I think that was quite a hard shot to call. I think the draw was a much easier shot and a much safer shot, but it's not made anyway. And after one end, it's United States 0, Japan 1. Second end underway. And the centre guard called here from Japan. I totally agree, Kenny. I think there's a complete clash in the two teams in levels of confidence. The United States team really making a lot of negative calls, as demonstrated by this first call of the end as well, choosing to draw the wing. Whereas Japan leading in the game and throwing a centre guard.
Yeah, can't really understand why you would draw the wing here in the second end.
Just a corner.
Yeah, absolutely, Ken. This is a call that we generally see when a team wants to blank the end, but it's far too early to consider doing that.
Yeah, that's probably the call, was to throw the corner. So they've ended up with the right result. So maybe something the national coach Derek Brown has maybe installed in them. Can't really sure. I'm not sure I agree with that way of calling the game. It's too early to start blanking ends. You maybe see a team maybe in ninth end try and maybe do that by throwing the open side. You may get the opportunity to pick up your two.
Well, forced to come around the centre this time. If they don't do it, then the Japanese will, you better believe. It's important to get one in there first and keep it in front of the tee line.
So that one just pulling up short, so a rather scrappy beginning to this second end.
Yeah, we've seen most of the games actually that it will take two ends for the ice to get up to speed going in both directions. Of course, brand new paths getting thrown with every stone coming back the way, so you'll see them kind of get the ice up to speed going in one direction, then they actually have to reset and almost start the game again when they're coming back the way in the second end. So
passes the guard by quite a considerable margin. And that one reared up pretty quick, so maybe a little bit of frost building up on the heads.
there's team coach for Japan, Fujimiki.
And has she managed to peel the double in the yellows? She has. So it opens up one side of the forefoot. A little unlucky not to hold a red in the house, actually. So Japan electing to come around the two guards, and this one looks really high and a lot of weight on it. Throws it right to the back ring. I'm sure the USA will just utilise the guards.
Yeah, and that's Scott Baird, the American coach. Kenny, you do a bit of coaching yourself. When a team's got off to a horror start, what does your role as a coach then become?
Well, it becomes very, very difficult at times. You know the ability's there, and it can be really, really frustrating sitting on the bench knowing your team can play the shots, but you can't put your finger on why they're not doing it. all you've got to do is maybe give them a couple of ends, like what the USA have maybe done, is just to build confidence, play a couple of takeouts, and then take it from there. You've got to move on from a defeat. You certainly learn more from a defeat than you do from a victory. But take each game just one at a time. It's the really good players that can put a defeat behind them and bounce back.
Would you ever be a shoulder for your team to cry on, Kenny, if they made a 0-5 start?
It's difficult, you know. Some players are different to others. Some need a shoulder to cry on. Some just need told to get back out there and do their thing. Different things for different people, different teams as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Player management absolutely crucial for the role of a coach. This is Eileen Sumunen, who was skipping and throwing last stones at the start of the week, now skipping and throwing third.
Really gotta move. Coming down. Come on. Hard, Mom. Hard, Tara. Hard.
I think that's probably why she's throwing third rocks rather than last rocks. Just not getting the desired result. Relatively easy, tap back to check to the 8-foot, but just thins it out.
Well, United States still in a strong position here, though, with that shot in behind the guards. They do have the last stone as well here in 2.
So another nice draw from Japan. Get this one tucked in. So USA still should be able to see an edge. I think all you need to do is just play the back 8-foot weight and tap it and check to the centre line. Really soft release on this one.
2, 3. Yep, moving. Hard. Whoa.
And nowhere near what they were going for. And just not at the races. And you've got to maybe ask the question, how long is national coach Derek Brown going to allow her to suffer out there?
Well, a good draw from Japan forces the mistake. And now Ogasawara with a great chance to turn up the heat on the winless USA.
So another draw right round in, but just slipping back tee and leaves a big pocket. So get out of jail free for USA.
Same as the draw shot. We have backing, we got to be there, but I'd like it top button.
Yeah, that's exactly where you need to be, top of the button, that 1-foot area. So
Line's a little
can
tight.
Monica Walker
Line's good. Line's tight. Line's really nice. Gotta be hard. Hard. Hard.
get right round?
Harder.
And they need to back off this one. This is absolutely flying.
Oh, you.
So, sweeping error really. The sweepers were saying that it was light for weight, and really seen it was nearly battering. So,
Well, meanwhile, over on sheet A, Germany up against the other team propping up the bottom of the table. Norway, and Germany leading by 1 shot to 0. This is Kristin Skaslien throwing final stones for Norway. And does a good job of making a hit and stick against 2 and tying the game up on sheet 1. Germany 1, Norway 1.
yeah, so now Japan trying to corner freeze the red, and this one also a little heavy maybe, but the line's looking really nice. I tap it enough, so Japan setting 2.
Well, I don't think the United States will have to move that yellow stone to get to shot position, but could just use it as a bit of backing. Important to get to the inside of the nose here. That's the key to getting the shot position. Final stone of the second end. Monica Walker.
Wait for it. Room. Close.
Lots of room, lots of room.
6, 7. Hold.
Whoa.
This one
Hold.
a little high at the moment.
7. Wait only. Wait only. Gotta be here
Yep.
though. Gotta
Yes.
be here.
Hard.
Wait only.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Nice shot.
So that one comes down onto the face of the yellow, and it will be a score of 1 for USA to tie the game at 1-1 after 2 ends.
Back to our featured game, third end, and if you've just joined us, you're watching live coverage of United States against Japan here at the ZEN-NOH 2015 World Women's Curling Championship. We're live from the Tsukisamu Gymnasium, and my name is Logan Gray. Alongside me, Kenny Edwards, calling the game. And it's definitely been a conflict of styles so far, Kenny.
Yeah, for sure. There has been Japan really going all out to try and score multiple shots with the last stone advantage, whereas the USA just been a little negative, trying to keep things nice and tight.
Just tight. It's there.
Same
80.
line.
Got an 80.
Same line, walk. 3, 4. Line's good. Right here, girl.
We're good. We're all there. On its own. 4 or 4.
Yeah, it's a nice centre guard. But while that end is developing, we'll take a look at the final shot on sheet D. Liu Seya for China against Sweden. Just looking to get on the board. Drawing this one down. And it looks like it was a single point. So a nice draw from the skip. For the corner guard, opens up that yellow stone in the 12-foot. So I think Japan will just continue to throw the corner guard for a few stones. Just cover that yellow in the 12-foot. Not really worried, they're not setting shot at the moment. Not really even looking at the double, just going to try and peel it off. And they did actually go for the double, but looking at that, you see they've left a corner guard.
No, good call. Yeah.
So maybe tried to hit and check to the centre as a centre guard, but didn't get quite far enough.
Yeah, so the guard kind of about edge to edge with the stone in the 4-foot, and pretty easily accessible for Kaho Onodera. It's not easy to hide the stone from her. Her takeouts have been fantastic so far this week. Nicely done once again from the Japanese second, now line 2 here.
It's thin. Peel.
Well, can't really understand why they're going after the thin double in this, Logan, can you?
No, I think they'll probably play a takeout on the correct stone here, but perhaps a hit and roll over on top of the stone would be a little bit safer. If you ever hit and roll out here, then Japan probably coming around the corner guard and...
Well, that's maybe a way to do it.
That shot was up there with Sanna Pustinen's final shot in the 4th or 5th end last night. A bit of pinball, a country kilometre tight of where they wanted to hit, redirects off the guard and makes the hit and roll. So
yeah, that just shows that things aren't going USA's way. Yeah, it's can't really expect to win too many games with doing that here at the World Championship.
Another nice controlled weight takeout, this time from Yoshimura. So important when something like that happens to you. Your opposition get particularly fortuitous that you keep your head and you get back down into the hack and make sure you make the next one and get your opposition back under pressure. And Japan really putting that crazy shot behind them very quickly.
Oh, nice shot right down in behind.
Nice shot.
So from looking like she couldn't hit a barn door, she makes a nice hit and roll in behind. So, USA going to try and pick this yellow off, or they're going to throw the guard? I think I might have been tempted just to throw a guard on this.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. If you play the takeout here, it's very difficult to stick around without removing that red stone at the back of the forefoot. And if you do, what's likely to happen in a hit and roll out of the rings, it looks like it's just going to be a blank end. And this call just takes the pressure right off Japan, really.
Just takes it off the back one.
Over on sheet C, Russia and Switzerland, both 4 wins and 1 loss. First 2 ends were blanked. And we're going to see Alina Pats delivering her final stone of this 3rd end. Having a super season, Alina and her team. And this looks like one of those games that could just determine the ranking at the end of the playoffs. Ooh, that was very close to being absolutely disastrous. Just narrowly misses the shot on the button. And it is only a steal of 1, so after 3 ends, it's Russia 1, Switzerland 0.
I'll throw a little more. Okay. Can I have a little more? Yep, hard. Yep, hard.
So skip stones here in the 3rd end. This is exactly what the USA need, just to keep things tight. The final stone of the third end. Ogasawara just looking for the peel on the red stone. Try and blank the end, which is made. So no score here in the third end. The game's still tied at 1.
Lots of fans in this morning flying the flag and trying to urge on Ayumi Ogasawara and her Japanese team. And they're in control so far. They do have the last stone here in the fourth end. And I would say I've been the more confident team, certainly in the start of this ninth round. Again, going with the corner guards here. Certainly seems to have been their game plan to play aggressively this morning. Anna Omiya, the lead player for Japan, playing 82% for the tournament. Rebecca Hamilton, 75% for the tournament so far.
2, 3, yep.
I believe she just came in the last game, so this is her second game.
Okay, line's okay.
Just at 2.5.
Yeah, if you're a lead, you've got to be at least at 80%, so a little bit lower than you'd expect from a lead player.
A little bit, yep.
Hard.
Yep.
But good setup play in this end.
Thanks.
Over on Sheet D, China and Sweden. Probably one of the most important games here in the ninth round, especially to Sweden. Got off to a bad start, lost 3 of their first 4 games, only beating Canada of all teams. The Olympic silver medalists with a lot of work to do here in Sapporo if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you've got to think if they drop another game, they're knocking on the door of going out of this World Championship.
Nice draw here though by Maria Prutz, and ties it up after 3 ends as China 1, Sweden 1.
So Tara Peterson, 70%.
What'd you get on this one?
Mine's good.
Certainly playing a lot better this morning.
Bring it back.
8.
Bring it back, 12. Ladder him, ladder him.
On this back line. Yeah.
Would have liked that one just top of the 8 foot.
Okay.
But throws that one right through. It's a big waste of a stone, that one.
Yeah, actually, I think I would have preferred to see them throw a guard there and really turn up the heat on Japan. Japan are going to try and play this slash double on the 2 reds. Kaho Onodera only playing 75% for the tournament. No, slightly miscalled there with the brushes.
I like it too. Yeah.
One, two. Mine's good. Make it a 2. Right up here then.
I think we're good.
Mine's great.
Yeah, so just anywhere on the centre line would be good enough.
2. Mine's good.
Finish.
Whoa. Mine's good. Whoa.
Easy, leave it.
Set.
Yeah, it does enough to make it awkward for Japan now.
Yeah, this time they'll have a chance to remove both guards though and open it right up.
And it's going to spin the red down in behind the corner. Bit of a mistake, really.
Yeah, United States now lying 2 with a chance to guard that short stone. I don't think Japan will be too concerned about that red stone on the left-hand side of the house. It's actually a stone they may be able to play off later in the end, but the stone in the button is definitely a problem. Eileen Shermunin only playing 60% for the week so far. It's not world-class curling from Eileen this far.
Gotta finish it.
Wait.
Hard. Finish it, yep. Hard.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah, it does make a nice shot. Puts it right on the centre line.
Kenny Eileen obviously struggling this week, her first time playing at the World Women's Championship. How tough is that transition from juniors to men to women's?
There is a very big gulf between the sort of junior level and the senior level. I think people just don't understand how consistent players are at the senior level compared to juniors.
Sayaka Yoshimura playing 76% for the week.
And I think actually he possibly burnt that stone with the brush, or was it a hog line violation?
I'm not too sure what happened there. It seemed to be released clearly, I thought. So the green lights came on,
He only has this or that. So
and then I think they maybe hit it with a brush, did they, Kenny?
The red light did flash.
But would that cause the lights to go on if it was touched with a brush? Like, unless they touched the handle?
Unless they touched the handle. No, maybe just dragged their hand across the back of it.
But the green lights clearly came on after the stone went there, so
here.
I can only think that the stone was burnt by the sweepers there. And the Japanese could find themselves in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah. I guess this isn't all bad, even if we're in.
Yeah.
Certainly first one of the week we've seen,
We're gonna have to come this way though, I think.
I think.
not seen too many hog line violations or burnt stones.
Absolutely, Eye and the hog handles have been around long enough now that the players are pretty familiar with them. Just got another look at this. Pretty sure she did get it away before the hog line. Oh, maybe not.
No.
Kind of went green and then immediately flashed red, so maybe just left a finger on there. So it took them a while to take it off, though.
Yeah.
Where is it? Yep, bring it then. Really tight. Tighter in. Mine's good. 2, 3. Just right in. Yep. Gotta be really tight. Hard, hard, hard.
So it looks like they're just going to throw a guard on this
Easy. Yep.
red stone to
Yep, hard. Yep.
take the flat double away. Yeah, that's quite a nice shot, really.
Kind of weird. I don't know if
Well, Japan going to call the takeout on the centre line this time. Try and open things up. Certainly won't be wanting another hog line violation from Sayaka.
So just bounces over the top. It does open up the red stone in 4 foot, so USA will need to cover that once again. Really are in a strong position to steal this end.
You like doing the out turns, because that's what we threw on the other darts for this exact spot?
No, I think this is fine. Tight. 3, 4. Yep. Just on this side of the center line. $85.
Monica Walker playing 71% for the tournament.
2. Yep. Bring it 3. Yep. 1.5. Yep, line. Finish it. Yep, line. Hard finish.
So just trying to swing this one on to the centre.
All the way over. Yep.
Needed to be a little bit tighter than that. You got to probably be about 2 foot short of the house. You see, Japan will see most of that stone. With the guard being quite long, you could probably play a control weight hit and roll in behind the guards on the right-hand side. Even if they'd been biting front ring, wouldn't have been a disaster.
We saw a similar takeout, but on the other handle in the first end. Missed for 2 by Ogasawara. This is the same weight, really. Only playing 68% for the week, surprisingly.
Is the shooter going to hang around?
No, it doesn't. And Eileen Suominen just persuades that one out the back door. So this has been a good end for the USA. Much more positive than the previous few ends. And I think this is what they'll need to do. They need to find some confidence from somewhere just to take a couple of calculated risks along the way rather than just trying to hang with Japan. So we've seen a couple of oversweeps from Peterson and Hamilton earlier in the game. This one certainly isn't overswept. Just manages to get a piece of that front ring. Bit of a lost opportunity though. But quite a lot of debris for Japan to negotiate here if they want to get a stone into a scoring position.
I want to. It's fine. I mean, it actually. Yeah, this way.
さあこっちか。
こっちの方が使ってるけどね。
こっち。
幅どれぐらいだろう。
いいよ。いや。ちょっと滑るもんね。ここは滑ってる。一個かわさなきゃいけない。
Yeah, so electing to come through the port rather than go out wide makes it a little bit more difficult.
ラインから伸ばして伸ばして伸ばして。ちょっと重いよ。
And
そこから重いよ重いよ。
they're having to go hard on this one. Have they got enough weight? This one looks short.
Well, that's a huge mistake there from Ogasawara, and a huge steal of 2 for the United States. Could there be a big upset on the cards here this morning? United States now leading Japan by 3 shots to 1.
And the fourth end, it was a score of 2 for USA. They lead 3-1 going into the fifth. So Japan with it all to do. And Omiya for Japan, throwing up a corner guard who's Anna's not done much wrong this morning at all. Played pretty steady. But next door, sheet C, Anna Sudrova, 1 up on Alina Pat of Switzerland. Alina with a chance to pick up a couple and take the lead.
80. 2, 3.
Supers just cleaning this one all the way down. And score of 2, and the lead for the first time after 4 ends.
Right in, right in. Good throw.
That's sweet. Yeah, it's good. It's not a bad outcome. I know, I was kind of trying to get you to get in there. I know.
Good throw.
The finish is so hard. I know. All right. Ah, sorry.
So it'll be interesting to see what Japan can do. So push the red right through, but the yellow's wide open, so.
So here's Kristen Skazlian on sheet A, already trailing Germany by 3 shots to 1. And Levanger and Charmon are giving that everything that they had.
Yeah, but they steal a 2 and they lead 5-1 now.
Yeah, Germany going along quite nicely now. Potentially going to 4 wins and 2 losses.
About the same. Close. A little less. Yep. 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 Hurry. Yep. Hard. Hurry. Yep. No roll.
Well, and as long as the United States just have open hits to play, it's going to be really quite straightforward for them. Japan really needs to do a better job of getting their stones in behind the guards. So over on sheet D, China and Sweden. Here's Leo Sia.
Yeah, just needing an 8-foot draw for a single point. All 3 of them out with the persuader, trying to get this one into the 8-foot. Now all 4. And it's just going to pull up short. So Sweden steal 1, just clinging on by their fingernails, holding a slim hope of making the playoffs here at the World Championship. So Japan elected to try and come around the corner, but just threw it up short.
Yeah, Japan just can't seem to get their stones in the right spots in the house at the moment.
Yeah, Surminen did try and through this one just tight, drifted a little bit far though. And surely USA are building in confidence now.
Yeah, this is exactly what they needed, Kenny, after 5 disappointing results. They've got off to a good start here. There's no doubt they have had a little bit of assistance from the Japanese, but they put themselves in those positions to force the mistakes. And Yoshimura over curling by a mile and puts another one in there.
Yeah, even spins it right down in behind the corners. Really soft release. Always narrow. So things beginning to fall around Japan at the moment. I don't think USA know what to do. They've never had this many stones in play.
If we bump it a little, that's fine. Just play it tight.
Yeah, that can often be the case. Sometimes you're in too good a position, and then that's a quandary in itself. Where do you put the next one without setting up new opportunities for your opposition? I think that's very much the case here for the United States.
You've got to hit the paint with this one, though.
All the way. Yep, keep bringing it, keep bringing it.
Yeah, it does. Just throws that one right in on top and has lined them up. So if Japan did throw one around this, they would just have a nose hit. So it ended up in a nice spot, really.
It can't be heavy either. That's actually a really nice spot.
Well, I like what Ayumi's looking at here. She realizes that those two red stones lined up are not good for Japan at the moment, so going to try and take those angles off, and maybe they can get the play over towards that corner guard by jamming on the wide red. So just trying to catch over on that red on the furthest right of your picture.
Yeah, so anywhere center line side should be pretty nice for Japan. But just doesn't do enough to get in behind, so USA should see most of this yellow. And things aren't looking that great for Japan at the moment.
No, but at the same time, things aren't looking that bad in this end either. There is going to be a lot of red stones in the house, but most of them in the 12-foot circle, and there's no center guards in place. So you would fancy Japan to be able to score here.
Yeah, nose hit required.
Good.
That's nice there.
So over to sheet C, here's Russia and Switzerland leading by 2-1 after scoring a deuce in the fourth end. Here's Anna Sidorova delivering the final stone of the fifth. And it is an open takeout to score two. Sort of a little bit wide on that out-turn a couple of times last night, but this one looks like it's homing in on target and hits it on the nose. Score of 2 for Russia and ties the game up. Oh, sorry, actually takes a 3-2 lead after 5 ends there.
Yeah, nice draw round in behind the red stones in the house. And just goes to show you don't actually need guards short of the house to create anything.
Absolutely, when you've got as much curl as we do here in the Tsukisamu, then that's very much possible. Despite Hans Wuttrich and his team's challenges here in the Tsukisamu Gymnasium with fluctuating temperatures, making some excellent ice conditions. There's the American bench looking on. And I think they'll be quite happy with this decision from the United States. The other option could be to try and make the short raise on the red stone closest to the yellow, but it's a little bit dangerous as well.
Yeah, if you could just throw something down right in on top, you know, you're looking pretty good to force the one. So how's the weight?
I don't know what you think, Kenny, but I think Becca Hamilton models are sweeping on Ewan Byers in an upright style.
Oh, not a lot of effort.
Efficient. Very efficient.
I think that's maybe what Ewan would tell you, it's efficient, but you've actually got to move the brush to be efficient. That's a great stone.
Yeah, maybe they're a little bit too efficient there, actually, Kenny, and they've, or a little bit too effective, I should say, and they've actually carried that a little bit too far. Just wonder if they could get to the inside of the nose and pop it by to score 2. Tough shot, though.
I think it's probably there. It's definitely there, just seeing that.
Yeah, again, just slightly misjudged, a little bit keen to get the brushes down and sweep, and some more experienced, more composed sweepers, they would be getting that one right onto the face there.
Yeah, so important stone here before we head into the break. When's this stone going to break? It's beginning to break now.
That's maybe quite sharply there.
Looks as if it's maybe grabbed something.
Oh, rubs the top one. Will it stick around for shot position? It will not. And it's going to be another steal for the USA. That really gripped and turned hard.
Yeah, whether it maybe picked or just caught a little patch on the ice, because they weren't overly aggressive with the sweeping.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're saying. That really turned hard on us. And at the halfway stage, United States leading Japan by 4 shots to 1.
Highlights of the game between USA and Japan. Ayumi Ogasawara for Japan trying to play a tap back to open the scoring. But this one crashed the guard and they would only pick up a single point. Second end, Japan sitting 2. And Monica Walker, 4th player for USA, having to draw the can.
Wait for it. Gotta be here. Wait only. Yep.
This one came right down onto the face, tapped the yellow back, and it was enough to tie the game. 4th end, Japan in all sorts of trouble. Ayumi Ogasawara just needing an 8-foot draw though, through the port. This one just not doing enough. And a big steal of 2 for the USA. But after 5, USA 4, Japan 1. Germany, Norway on sheet A. Germany leading 5-1 after 4 ends. And Christian Skalsland drawing the 8-foot. Round in behind the corner guard with her first and has an opportunity to play the nose hit with her second and score 2. So that one 5-3 in Germany's favour. Russia, they're also ahead. They're 3-2 up on Switzerland, where we've seen Sweden lead 3-1 over China.
It runs real nice. I like that side. It's very true. Very true. Like a nice. There isn't any jumpy spot. It just goes right and stops. It doesn't go and then cut or run and then cut. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Anybody want some nuts?
I only want your nuts.
What'd you call me?
Nuts?
Not head. There you go.
Same game plan.
Yeah.
We might get them out 2 in.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me more ice on my intern heels. Because they're curling a lot. I know I'm sliding in, but yeah. Just give me more.
Yeah, you're throwing them nice and positive, but you're right. You could probably use an inch.
Because they're still curling a lot.
They'll need a bunch more.
Yeah, it's what's happening.
Because they're having to sweep them hard.
Right.
So there's the stats for both teams. USA a little ahead of Japan in all areas, but it's that 3 stone points at the bottom of the table that is the difference between the two teams at the moment. You're watching live coverage from the ZEN-NOH World Curling Championships 2015. Coming to you from the Tsukisumami Gymnasium, Sapporo, Japan. Game between USA and Japan. It's USA leading 4-1. I'm Ken Edwards and I'm joined by Logan Gray for this round 9 game. Anna Omiya, 80% for the lead. Had a really steady game. And once again, does her job well by throwing the corner guard up. Rebecca Hamilton trailing her opposite number a little bit
80.
at 77%.
That's 2, 3, 3, 4. 3, 4.
Little straighter. Hanging a little
5,
straighter.
6. Down to it.
Might even be back.
Yep, good enough. Yep.
I would have liked them to be side by side. But, just leaves a nice big pocket to freeze on now.
Tara Peterson playing 75% for the game. Kenny was actually speaking to Al Cameron from the Canadian Curling Association yesterday, and he was talking about the yellow stones on this sheet. So he was saying that last year in Beijing at the Men's World Championships, this set of yellow stones were something like 5 wins and 11 losses. And JD Lin, the national coach for Japan, was saying they were out there trying to match them a couple of nights ago, and they just could not get a read on any of them. So maybe that's what Japan are up against out there. They, we did say the final stone of Ayumi in the 5th end curled extremely hard, and I just wonder if that's what the problem is. They just can't work the stones out at the moment.
Yeah, obviously everything's done to try and match the stones perfectly, but you will get a couple of stones that will travel a little further than others, and others that will swing maybe more or run a little straighter. So yeah, it's up to the teams to manage that. You know, they all get to practice in the evening, so to distinguish what is a good stone, a bad stone, or I don't think there's any bad stones out there. It's just some perform a little differently than others.
Yeah, it is an art in itself, matching the stones, pairing them in the best way to get the best results from them. But there are some sets of stones that are easier to do than others, and this does seem to be a problematic set. Well, Eileen Suominen playing better than her turbine accuracy today, but still not really operating at that world-class level that we're looking for, something over 80%, and that doesn't help.
So this is a nice call actually from Japan, just trying to push the yellow a little closer. It's actually ended up in a reasonable spot back there.
Yeah, I actually just touched the yellow stone at the top of the forefoot and then the one on the tee line as well. Just the faintest of glances. Smart call here, though, by the United States, choosing to peel the open stone. Don't need to take too much risk, leading by 3 shots currently.
Yeah, probably be better running this, maybe checking in behind the forefoot, but not in behind the corner. error on the correct side with that one.
Good throw.
結構あったよ。
はい。
もうちょっと下げるでしょ。
もうちょい下げた方がいいよね。いいよー。8、9。
ちょっと外目。
9までありそう。
おお、外だよ。
かかるよ。
おー
9、10。早いわ。
同じ？
同じ。あるよ、ちょっと。
おおおお。Yep, yep, 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 yep.
Well, trying the same shot again and getting pretty much a carbon copy of the previous attempt.
Getting closer. Again, I just think you need to peel that one. Eventually, Japan's going to have to make a takeout on the yellow straight back. If you hit it on the nose, you will remove both of the reds. But you're more than likely going to leave a double back because your yellow's going to stick right on top of it.
All right, just peel it out. Yep. We're gonna cross the face though.
Okay. You got it.
So Monica Walker will try and peel that one out, but we're going to take a look at Russia versus Switzerland. Alina Pat trying a nose hit
Roll it out. Yes.
for a single point to tie the game.
And it does so successfully. And puts one yellow on the board and ties the game up. 6 ends played. Russia 3, Switzerland 3.
これも出すなら。遅くならないで。
もう、
Yeah, so this time that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and drive this yellow right back into the 2 reds.
Yeah, I don't think they have too much option here, Kenny. They've only got this one and one more to come in the end, so they need to start finding a way to score.
I don't think you need to throw big weight at this thing. You just need to throw control. You can't afford to spin the other yellow right over the top.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just got the one out, well, that's actually not a too bad a result. Would have liked to stay around for 3rd shot. But as you say, Kenny, potentially too much weight on that one.
Yeah.
Bit tough morning so far for Ayumi Ogasawara.
That's kind of where you were. You were there. Yeah. You like this?
You're just doing a guard.
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah, that's
That,
the
I
call.
mean,
Just throw something up
I'm
on
gonna lose that.
front
roll
ring.
out. It's probably not gonna go all the way out. I don't think. It might even catch over there. Or do you like picking it?
Either way. Yeah, I don't like hitting. They're not active enough.
Throw peel. Yeah. Okay. Same weight I just threw.
Yeah, so electing to peel this. I'm not sure I agree with this call.
Oh, picking it? How much room is there?
There's like this much room.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one, Kenny. To be perfectly honest, I think they're going to struggle to get it past that wide yellow as well. They're going to lose the one on the tee line.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty close to redirecting onto that wide yellow and sticking on the edge of the 12 foot, which could leave a shot for 2. So, yeah, we had a similar situation earlier in the game, and the United States decided to play the takeout. It's a slightly easier one than this one, but at least they're consistent.
Yeah.
82% for the game. Monica Walker.
Hard! Wall!
Sounds a lot like a nose hit.
Yeah, so a bit of a mistake. I think it's quite obvious that Morika can't throw that peel weight that you really need to be able to call them shots.
Yeah, and the immediate reaction from Monica Walker is we should have just put a guard up.
Yeah.
As we said repeatedly, that if you're winning the game, you're leading the game, then you want to be playing the easy shots. And this was a tough shot in comparison to the guard.
Yeah, it's you've seen there, she really did try and drive hard out the hack, but didn't have the leg drive to really to play that shot.
So Ayumi only playing 59% today. Being really gifted an opportunity here. And Sweepers, her head's down on this one. Onodera really pounding this one to try and get it down there. It's not going to make it. It's over curling and short of pace. And United States somehow get away with only a score of 1 for Japan. And after 6 ends, United States in full control, now leading Japan by 4 shots to 2. Well, some concerned faces in the crowd there. Not getting what they hoped for this morning from the local heroes. And Japan trailing the USA by 4 shots to 2. And it looks like it might be a shock result on the cards here in draw 9. And another mistake from the Japanese. They throw their center guard into the house, and USA can now play a takeout and try and run the 7th end through and put another end in the books.
Nice.
Yeah, Japan have really got to start to push here on the 7th end. So they will just throw the center guard.
Oh, we've talked about this set of stones being particularly difficult, Kenny. I wonder if they have tried to shuffle them around this Japanese team. I think it's pretty clear that Ayumi Ogasawara has a slow cutter, we would call it, with her final stone. We've seen it miss short and inside on numerous occasions.
Yeah, I quite like this call from the USA. Just going in on top of this red. No point in splitting the house. I mean, USA are going to want to peel that centre at some point. So if you peel, if you throw one the opposite side, where do you actually peel to? But obviously, popped that one up onto the centre line and moved things around. But we're going to take a look over on sheet D. It's China, Sweden. Sweden leading 3-1.
Yeah, Leo Sia delivering the last stones for China. And trailing by 3-1 against the Olympic silver medalists. And a nice shot there to score. Doesn't quite manage to generate the 2. But narrows the gap to 1. Sweden 3, China 2.
Yeah, I think you need to call this one thin. You need to take it over the top of the yellow and centre line. What you can't do is catch it on the low side and spring the yellow back in behind. Yep, that's the way to do it. That's a great shot.
Yeah, and gets a little bonus in pushing the red into the house as well.
Yeah.
Nice shot there by Tara Peterson. Think there'll be any nerves out there, Kenny?
Yeah, I think there might be. It's their opportunity to really put their first win on the board. Japan have been 3 down before and come back to win, so they know what it's like to grind the result out. Whereas the USA have really struggled to capitalise on any mistakes or finish things off. So it'll be interesting to see how the USA perform in the latter stages of this game.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if they tighten up at all as we get down the stretch. But this end, pretty much a dream come true for them. No stones in play and looking like they can just run this one through and take the last stone into the 8th end. Put another end in the books and get a little bit closer to home.
Yeah, so things just not beginning to happen for Japan. So this is a great opportunity for the USA to pick up their first win. Still a long way to go though, we're only in the 7th end.
Just here. Gotta move a little. 7, 8.
Let's finish it back then. Oh. Whoa. Okay, just straight.
Obviously something, a little bit of debris on the underside of the running band. Just going to give it another clean. Yeah, so USA just going to peel this guard off.
Whoa. I think we're nosing.
Oh, this is a
Just a nose.
disaster for the USA. Surmanen having a tournament to forget. It does put the coach in a difficult position if you've got players out there that aren't performing and you have someone on the bench who could potentially step in. So from nothing, Japan with a great chance here in the 7th. It's maybe just a little bit of inexperience at the top level.
Well, there's no doubt they made the right call there. They just didn't execute it. 14.9 seconds between the hog lines. So, and this gets down all the way past the T line. So perhaps the ice getting a little bit faster.
Yeah, so they'll see most of this yellow, so they'll hit and try and check to the side. Really key to hold the shooter here. If you don't hold the shooter, Japan will just swing another one right round. If you hold the shooter, they're more than likely just going to peel it out.
This is a nice shot from Monica Walker. Hits and sticks on the edge of the forefoot. I wonder if Japan might be willing to play a draw here. Doesn't look like it. They do have a good opportunity. They could play the same in-turn draw and put it in a really tough spot to remove. They need to take some sort of risk at this stage, I would say.
Yeah, just cap it. Just you've just thrown the draw, so just throw one right in on top.
I'll go in for the safe option here, really, and just making sure they get rid of that redstone and don't fall further behind.
They're going to have to go hard on the sweeping to get this past the guard, though. Well, the objective was to remove the red. That's what they've done. But haven't applied any some sort of pressure to the USA. They'll try and blank this 7th end and run the shooter.
Can you go all the way to that back red one? Yes. And be out? Mm-hmm.
The final stone of this 7th end from Monica Walker. Just trying to peel the yellow.
Hard. Right to it, you got it. Hard. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard out, Becca. Hard out. Great job.
And they've done enough to blank this 7th end, retain last stone advantage, and they head into the 8th, 4-2 ahead.
Welcome to the ZEN-NOH World Women's Curling Championship 2015, coming to you live from the Tsukisamu Gymnasium here in Sapporo, Japan. We're bringing you live coverage of Draw 9 of this year's event, USA and Japan. Japan 4 wins and 1 loss, and USA 0-5, but looks like we could have an upset on the cards. And here's Becca Hamilton throwing lead stones
55
for the USA.
We're back.
I'm Logan Gray, and I'm alongside Kenny Edwards, bringing you live commentary of the game as we get down to the business end.
Nice throw. Good throw. What'd you have, Monica?
55.
There's the matchup at lead. Rebecca Hamilton just slightly being outplayed by Anna Omiya. Not too much in it.
Yeah.
Rebecca Hamilton just drew one to the wing again, a tactic that the United States seem to favour. A team generally employed by, sorry, a tactic generally employed by teams who don't want to mix things up and get too involved and play a reasonably uncomplicated game. Two nice centre guards there by the Japanese lead. Let's take a look at sheet C, Kenny.
Yeah, Russia, Switzerland, Anna Sidrova really performing well, along with Alina Pats. So one of these teams will go to 5 wins and 1 defeat. Anna been forced to draw against 2, possibly 3, just to the back of the forefoot for a single point and the lead in the game once again. And this one comes down to the face of the yellow and a score of 1 for Russia. They lead 4-3.
Well, tick shot called and well executed there by Becca Hamilton.
So Onodera double centre on. Yes, you've got to be a little careful of how they peel them, but if you look at the stats there, Peterson at 82 and Onodera at 75. Peterson has made some nice doubles and run backs. Pretty close to this one, I think. And again, makes the double peel.
Germany-Norway on sheet A. Germany in full control in this game. 3 wins and 2 losses. Here's Danny Dreendl with the final stone of the 7th end, already leading by 5 shots to 3. And can she wiggle a 4th one in there? Already line 3. Oh, and this one's tipped down the hill and into the guard. So only 3, but still looking like it's going to be a German victory there, now leading by 5 over Norway.
Yeah, so Japan continuing just to through the centre, but maybe this time they've elected to come around. just going for the long guard.
Yep, 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 yep. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, great setup from Yoshimura. As there's the comparisons. Surminen at 54%. Yoshimura at 64%. Don't think you're going to find many players here this week playing 54% and find yourself 4-2 up. It just goes to say how good the rest of your team are playing.
Well, she just can't buy a shot right now. Confidence at an all-time low for Eileen Surminen.
This is the thing, as a coach, do you pull a player off the ice during a game, or do you wait till the game's finished and bench them? Or
Well, it's not really. It's not like a game of football, Kenny, where you can just make substitutes whenever you feel like it. Well, you're not supposed to anyway, but the alternates are very much there for any injuries or sickness during the game. You can change based on form in between the games, but yeah, I think it's definitely something that needs to be looked at for the next game again.
yeah, that poor shot has just ended up putting our team in all sorts of trouble, and it's her undoing that put our team in trouble in the 7th end as well. As you can see, Germany leading 8-3 on sheet A. Russia 4-3 up on Switzerland, and Sweden 5-2 up on China.
Mine's good. Mine's good.
Just looks as if Aileen wants off that ice pad as quickly as possible.
Yep. Yep. Hard, 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 hard. Yep.
Yeah, well, Kenny should be enjoying it a lot less if they weren't winning right now.
Yeah, but it does make a nice draw in behind.
Tried it a little deep. Should have left it high.
There is the bench of the USA, and it'll be down to them guys to decide really what they do for the next game to try and mix things up.
Yeah, some experienced staff there, though, who've been through a lot of international championships, and I'm sure they've come across pretty much every scenario imaginable, and Swiss Helm especially. She's been around the block a few times.
Ogasawara, just I think she's going to looking to just cap this one in the 4-foot. Very, very difficult to try and get shot out of this without leaving yourself wide open. And just slips a little bit far to the back of the 4, and USA have got to watch they don't fall into the trap of following this one down, and
Here, yeah.
leaving a nice nest to freeze.
I don't want to go here.
Yeah, and the other thing to watch out for is leaving a double takeout
Even a little
to lie
tap.
2 in behind there.
I mean, I hate
So
to
Monica
move that
Wagner,
too far,
sorry,
but
Monica Walker.
corner freeze.
I've
She
been
won't
waiting
be
for
able
that
to
one
see
all
enough
game,
to
Kenny. That was completely Monica
get them
Wagner.
both going. Yeah.
Anyway, Monica Walker winning the
So, same room as you, I think.
battle at skip,
Edge.
79 to
Yeah,
57.
more.
I think
A little
Ayumi
more than that.
Ogasawara struggling with
Put on to the
stones
12.
really more than anything.
We gotta be careful to not set up a double.
Yeah. If we get around, we'll be fine.
Clearly says
We're
Walker
just
on her
corner
back.
freezing on that one Eileen just threw. So we gotta be half. We're in the top 4. So
Shot, right?
Yeah, we're shot on the top 4. We're going to corner freeze down to it. We got to be like half 4 foot. So, but we don't want to roll away too much.
Oh, a good clear brief from the skip there. Monica Walker just trying to freeze her redstone in the 4 foot.
Bring it back then.
Well, this one is absolutely flying, Logan.
Where is it? Looks like lots. All the way back, if we're back.
So they've called it early. What they're going to do is try and take this one right past the yellow so they don't leave any nest or anything for Japan. Yeah, poor shot.
That's fine. That's good. Good call.
So they called it early enough to take it right back. That's a good 10 feet away from where they were going for.
Yep.
13.6 should be enough weight to get there.
Have they got the line though? I think that red is still shot.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kenny.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got to make sure they take plenty of ice with this one. They don't want to tickle the yellow top of the 4 foot.
Just full 4 foot. Okay. Full 4. We're shot.
So these are the shots that really a skip loves to play. Shot of the 4 for 2.
Well, final stone of the 8th end, Monica Walker drawing one into the 4 foot to try and put a second point on the board for the United States. It doesn't look too far away. Supers are going to have to go hard on this one to get it down there.
Yeah, it's all about the line, really.
It's just going to come up a little bit shy, and it is going to be a score of 1 red. But the United States still in really good shape to put their first win of the week on the board, now leading Japan by 5 shots to 2.
Too much broom. Yeah.
You threw that well for.
We just had to wait.
So sheet B, United States versus Japan. It's United States who are 5-2 up. The scoreboard is incorrect. So Japan trying to throw a corner guard.
ウェイトだけちょっと重くなるよ。さあここまで。ちょっとブラシにまっすぐ。
That's done quite nicely. So USA will probably just throw this one away. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, just 2 ends to play here of regulation time, so Japan really needing to put a score of 2 on the board as a minimum here. I think we'll see another corner guard being thrown.
Ah, 外ね。中外だから。曲がんないと。曲がってないよ。ここで並ぶ。
Yeah, so let's see if the USA can tidy things up better as they've done in N7. Tara Peterson played really, really well this morning. Made the double peels and some nice takeouts when she's needed it.
Yeah, clearly gaining confidence with every stone. Over on sheet D, Sweden looking good for continuing their comeback towards the playoffs after a slow start this week. 2 wins and 3 losses. This is Leo Sia with her final stone of the 8th end.
Yeah, trying to spin that one in, and it looks like it's definitely one. And after the measure, it was confirmed it was only one. So again, off of the corner, and USA, like you say, growing in confidence throughout this game. So I'm not sure, has Onodera been asked to freeze this, or whether she's been asked for a corner guard?
Well, trying to freeze the stone in the forefoot here. Now we have a final on sheet A, and Germany making light work of Norway and handing Norway their 6th loss of the week. And Germany move on towards the playoffs, chalking up their 4th win and sitting on 2 losses. So still very much in the hunt for this young German side. Back in our featured game, Japan go for a questionable freeze. Doesn't quite make it, and now Eileen Suminen just going to try and peel this one off.
Yep, hard. Yep, yep. All the way, yep, yep. Yep, roll it over, yep.
Yeah, so it does make the peel. Would have liked to run out of play, but removes the objective stone was the main thing. So going for the freeze again. Just line this up, just sort of half stone. Might end up crashing into the red out wide. So it doesn't really do enough to make it awkward. The question is now, do you nose hit this, or do you just clean pick?
Yeah.
I don't really want to roll it.
No.
So where do you want to hit it?
Just third.
And roll out? I don't know if we can. Like just here?
I like that. That's fine.
Just 9.5?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they're just going to try and hit and flop to the
Sure that we can get the
face of the
roll
red.
without jamming. So yeah, just on top. Just easy.
Got to watch they don't catch it too thin and roll in behind the corner. That'll drag the play in behind the corner exactly where USA don't want it. It would only benefit Japan.
Yep, yep. Hard. Hard, hard.
So sweepers
Hard.
really going on this one.
Yep.
Good sweep.
So caught that one in pretty nicely.
That works better.
Nice.
Works better. Good go.
Still think you've got to play the freeze with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. That one in the button, if they could ever just freeze just off the nose on the side of the two stones on the wing, then it would be quite tricky to remove for the United States.
Have they caught the right side though? Haven't errored on the right side, they've errored on the wrong side. The crowds went awfully quiet here in the Tsukisamu gymnasium.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny, but it makes all these shots all the more hard when you really need to be exact with
Flop in front.
stone
9.5.
positioning, and you have no idea where to put the brush because all the stones are doing different things. It's now impossible to get the stone exactly where you want it.
Yeah, so does remove the yellow, but might make it a little bit awkward if Japan, sorry, can pump this back.
Looks like they're just going to try and bump this red, but looks difficult for Japan to score more than one here. The freeze could be a good option again, but if you make the freeze and then United States ever just throw the guard, then you do have a tough job getting in there for a second one.
Yeah, I think you've got to play the bump with this one.
フリーズでも悪くない。ちょっと押したい。とりあえずライン。
Have they got the weight to move the red off the button? Doesn't look a lot of weight. And they haven't.
Well, that's exactly where they were looking for the first one. Yeah, well, the United States know that a guard is going to do just the trick here to stop Japan scoring more than one, you would think anyway.
3-4.
4 shot?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, this line's pretty true.
Yeah, Japan still would be able to play the slash on the two reds maybe, but I think all you've got is a shot for one.
Whoa, not moving.
Mine's good. 4. Whoa, we're over curling.
Easy.
3. Whoa, let
Easy,
it die.
curling now.
Oh, let
Whoa.
it die. Let it die.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Did I get a bounce? Yep.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, this just got caught in no man's land. It really should have been swooping that to get that down there. And maybe there is a chance for Japan to score two here.
Yeah, that's not a great shot by the skip. Certainly they're just at sort of hack weight, I think. Just come down, just catch as much as you can see, hold the shooter right in on top for a score of 2.
ね、結構難しいね。
難しいわ。難しいかボードとかは最後の方落ちそう。
いいと思う。
ここで。
Yeah, so should be able to see most of this Yellowstone just to bump it. It's quite narrow ice if they're playing battering weight. Must be playing a little more.
Well, we've seen her miss repeatedly on the inside with this with her last stone of the end. Has she changed her stone, or has she changed the ice to be able to make this one? Let's find out. Immediately down with the brushes here. Just needs a back ring weight.
Oh, squeezes it past, makes a great shot to score 2. So from nothing, really, USA contributing to their own undoing, really.
Oh, absolutely, Kenny. That last stone played by the USA were just really poorly positioned, and Ayumi Ogasawara does a great job of punishing the United States for that mistake. Let's have another look. Gets right to the nose and sticks in the forefoot. 2 yellows, and Japan right back in it with 1 end to go. USA 5, Japan 4. So it's back to a one-shot game here with one end to come here in draw 9. If you've just joined us, you're watching live coverage from the ZEN-NOH World Women's Curling Championship 2015, coming to you live from the Tsukisame Gymnasium in Sapporo. And just as Japan got back into the game, disaster, Kenny.
Yeah, they throw the guard short of that red hog line, so it has to be removed from play. And you've got to think any chance they had has just gone with the first stone of the 10th end.
Well, the free guard zone rule will still be in play for their second stone. So it's maybe not quite over yet. And we've certainly not seen a fantastic display of peeling guards from the USA today. Just a bit of a shame, really, after Japan finally stringing a couple of shots together and getting back into this, that they then have a lapse of concentration. Safely done this time.
That's more than last time. What's that? About the same.
You got it.
I have a hair left. Yep.
Backline. Board.
Close. Close. Yep. Back. Whoa. Whoa. Back to close.
Board. Curl. Curl. Nice.
Oh, makes the tick shot. Have they got the shooter out of play?
Nice shot.
That's good enough out there.
Oh, we saw her make one in the 8th end, and that's another beauty here in 10th. Great shot there by Becca Hamilton. Starting to look really quite comfortable out there on the ice, having come off the bench from the alternate position.
Yeah. Yeah. 半人。何がいいよ。
高くていいよ。
1でいいよ。何がいい。
Yeah, now USA can play the takeout on them. Tara Peterson. This one drifting back, actually.
Oh, manages to get it across the top of that yellow white stone, so safely done in the end. Here on sheet D, Sweden and China, and looks like it could be a game winner here for Maria Prutz. Just has to make a nose hit to score as many as 4 here in the 9th end, and surely that would be handshakes. Nicely done, and handshakes it is. So after China being 3-0, that's 3 consecutive losses, and they fall to 3 wins and 3 losses, while Sweden very much in the ascendancy after being 1-3. Back-to-back victories take them alongside China, so a crucial win there for Sweden.
Nice shot.
Yeah, straightforward peel this time.
So Japan are just going to have to persevere at the moment and hope for a miss.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the USA start to falter in this 10th end. They are a little bit nervous about picking up their first win. They're in really in the driving seat.
Yeah, they always say that the hardest shot to play is the shot to win the game, Kenny. And that's coming soon. Eileen Sirmunin, the skip, making her way down the ice to throw the third stones. Of course, starting the week playing fourth stones. Although this stone's in the house, they will want to make sure they roll the shooter away.
Yep, hard. Yep.
And it's looking dangerously close to the nose.
Hard your way, Becca.
Well, that's the first stone that will be usable for Japan. Still not that threatening to the United States, but a usable one.
So we take a look at Russia, Switzerland. Alana Pats playing a great hit and roll in behind, and Anna Sidrova just absolutely dumping that one over.
Yep, new wrist, please.
Yep.
Oh, doesn't even get the back one. That's a shocker from Anna Sidorova. We've seen a couple of wild takeouts in the last couple of games. And it looks like it might be back-to-back defeats for Russia, losing to Canada last night. And now 8-4 down to Switzerland with just one end to come. Well, timeout's been called by Ayumi Ogasawara back on our featured game, Japan and USA. And Fuji Miki, the Japanese coach, making his way down. Only 3 stones to come here for Japan.
Well, I think that's quite a decisive answer. He's just pointed to the guard.
Yeah, I'm sure Fuji is saying that they can afford to throw one more guard and maybe they'll get a better guard to come around. And if they don't, then they come around with the next one and they can make USA face 2 with their last stone. So a centre guard kind of on the left-hand side of the centre line would be preferential right now. Okay. Well, I think they could just put it on the centre line here, Kenny. I don't think the USA team will be too thrilled about running a Japanese stone towards that red in the house.
No, I think you just peel it in the open side, though.
Yoshimura not been at her brilliant best today, playing 65% on 12 draws and 54% on 7 hits. Well, a little bit longer than they would have liked.
Yeah, but still potential for a mistake.
Not really. Either way, yeah. Okay.
So can Surmanen do what she's been asked for?
Yep.
Peeling the guard off.
Yeah, it's not been a great matchup at third between Surmanen and Yoshimura. It's littered with mistakes. And here's another one.
Absolute nightmare from the third player.
I think Yoshimura is putting a magnet on her her guards at the moment. And a final score on sheet C of Switzerland 8, Russia 4. Russia getting their second loss of the week and going to 4-2, and Switzerland will go past them and go to 5-1. Both teams still in good shape for the playoffs, and I think I would expect to see both of them there.
Yeah, I think they'll both feature in the playoffs. Both very strong sides.
Well, after that mistake, Kenny, then you're wishing that you'd actually put your guard in a good position to come around. They need to really come around this one this time to throw another guard, and then they can play a draw with their last stone. So Ayumi Ogasawara, 58% on 12 draws. It's really struggled with her stones so far today.
Yeah, just looking for this one anywhere on the centre line, really. Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Well, if you're going to be really picky, just over curls a little bit, but still a good shot there. And now USA in that position of, do you play the come around and try and win the game, or do you peel the top one and hope that you just get a pick with your last stone?
I don't have a lot of it though.
Well, the length of that red guard is really, really long. So you might be worthwhile just peeling the yellow if you can see enough of it.
I think it makes a difference, Kenny, as well, when you're one up instead of peels. USA could only be lying, they can only lose one here in this last end, really, unless something ridiculous happens. So you could just take the game to Japan and try and draw one around. I think that's my preference at this stage. And that would make things quite a lot harder for Japan to get into a shot position.
Pick it out? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, Scott Bird, yeah, peel the tight one, peel the yellow. They can see enough of it. The red guard really shouldn't come into play. So have they got a piece of this? They're awful quiet. This needs to move a little. Yeah, they've done enough, but they're just going to push that yellow in behind the guard. So it's getting rather difficult for USA to pick up their first win. Catch half an inch more of that, you're absolutely fine. But now you're going to be faced with the game. So Ogasawara just going to come around on the end turn. Try and get in behind that long red guard. It's that long, it's hardly even in shot, so should have the chance to come around and tap it, even if they do get top four.
Well, we saw Japan against Scotland earlier in the week in a kind of a similar position a little bit, and they had the opportunity to lie too, and they managed to sneak it on that occasion. Eve Muirhead missing the 8 foot with her last stone. But once again, Ayumi Ogasawara just can't get the distance right on that final stone at the end, comes up short. And I'd be interested to know how much of that yellow stone in the house can be seen from the hack.
I think you can see it all, so you just play the peel, but obviously not that confident. So I'm just going to throw the 12 foot, so
Have that rock.
I would put the money on if you've got a confident skip to make this shot. But a chance to pick up USA's first win at the World Championships. I'm going to reserve judgment.
So here we are, final stone of the 10th end, Monica Walker. Just needs to hit the paint really to put the United States' first win on the board.
Line's looking pretty good, all about the weight.
Yeah, the supers look pretty happy with this one. And a big sigh of relief. Hamilton and Peterson swooping it down there, don't burn it. And there you have it. USA getting their first win, Japan dropping their second point of the week. And the final score here, United States 6, Japan 4.
So a rather laboured performance from USA, but they managed to get over the line. Difficult one for Japan to take. Didn't really take their opportunities. Eighth end, and USA trying to draw for two. On the out turn, already sitting one. Supers worked all the way down, but just pulls up short. Ninth end, USA sitting one. Ogasawara attempting the hack weight takeout on the yellow and hold the shooter for two. Just kept it clean all the way down. Gets past the top red and holds the shooter, and a score of two, and they trailed by one. 10th end, fourth player, Monica Walker, needs fully 12 foot for the game, and USA's first win at the World Championships here in Sapporo. Throws this one right into the 4 foot, and a sigh of relief for the USA as they win 6-4 over Japan. Elsewhere, Germany winners 8-4 over Norway, Switzerland 8-4 over Russia, and Sweden a really nice win over China, 9-3. So standings after draw 9, Switzerland out there on 5 wins, 1 defeat. Canada, Germany, Japan and Russia with 4 wins. And Denmark, United States and Norway propping up the table.
Eileen, you've had to wait for it, but your first win on the board, how are you feeling?
Really good. It's really nice to have a win. We've been progressively playing better, and so it's just kind of like we're getting there, but it's just not turning into W's till now. So,
is there anything in particular that made the difference today?
I think we were really precise in where we were putting the rocks, and before we were making the shots, but not quite perfectly, and so now we're getting them in the right spots to put some pressure on the other team.
You've made some team changes this week. Can you talk us through them and how your team have coped with that?
Sure. It's been different. I think everybody's been playing pretty well. Monica in particular has been making some really, really clutch shots, and so we just thought, if she's going to be making those really the big shots, that matter the most, then throw her in last and see how it goes.
Great. Thanks for your time.
That's it for Draw 9 here in Sapporo, Japan. So from Logan Gray and myself, Ken Edwards, thanks for listening.